got the little man, you got the big man, and you got the bigger man.
Well, happy Sunday, everybody, and good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on when you are tuning in to checking this out on Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. It is Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. I'm Kellen Nitro, coming at you with another classic Nitrostake. We hit the highway to hell on this one. We're going back to August of 1998 for the SummerSlam, WWF SummerSlam at MSG, the highway to hell, in opinion and review. I am, of course, Kellen Nitro, your host with the most. And we're going to bring in the our favorite lapsed wrestling fan, and of course, the medium Meng. It's Mr. TL. You're the medium Meng, right?
Well, at least I know my name.
What happened? I don't know what happened there.
My name is loading.
Kellen.exe stopped working for a second. That's what
it really did. That was great.
Yeah, it's just one of those days for sure. We have a guest contributor this show as well. So we have 4 boxes instead of 3 boxes normally. So what I will do is I will bring in the guest right now, and then we will bring in the big bang after the guest. He, of course, is from Kayfabe Wrestling Inc., and it is Morehouse. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going well. Yourself?
Doing great. We're happy to have you on board.
What's your name, by the way? I don't think we've formally met.
It's Kellen Nitro.
Okay, good.
Nitro. Yes, exactly.
You know, every night before bed, look at the mirror. Remind yourself, I am Kellen Nitro.
I am Kellen Nitro. Yes, that's right. I'm just going to get it written or tattooed backwards on my forehead, like the help me that Al Snow had with head, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's easy for the house because it's whose house?
Morehouse.
Yes. Yeah.
Gimmick infringement.
Yes, exactly. I guess we should bring him in.
The man.
We talked about the little Mang, the medium-sized Mang, the Morehouse Mang, and now we got the big Mang. Here he is, Craig P. Frazier.
Say his name and he appears, I believe.
Craig Fraser.
Oh, I tried to do the clap too, and I don't think it caught in frame. Oh well.
I'm back.
Yes, say his name and he appears. Craig, how are you tonight?
Not too bad. I'm well. I had some Chinese food, which was delicious. From
delicious.
Red Bull and Niscu. Can't miss with a good old Red Bull product placement plug there.
Nice.
Not sponsored, but
so someone got 40% off their meal today.
I was gonna say,
yeah. Yes.
Did you get free egg roll or what happened?
I got a free order of chicken fried rice because
okay.
If you order over $60 after tax or before tax, you get a free order of chicken fried rice. So there you go.
Excellent.
Did you get a new mic?
No, it's the same mic. I just finally put my stand up, and I guess I'll try to talk.
Very sporty. Yeah,
you're just going to see my eyes for this episode.
I like it.
I'll have to find a better way to set it up, but it
does this cool and weird thing where your drop down windsock is like it blocks up part of your face, so you turn to the Phantom of the Opera a little bit.
Christine, that's all I ask of you.
Wow.
Sing my angel of music.
I did see the Phantom of the Opera just quickly before we get into it.
Okay, yeah, and
anecdote was it was in Broadway when I went to New York when I was in grade 12, and it was an entire full theater on Broadway of Phantom of the Opera. It was the first night we were there. And we got to the part of the play where the Phantom of the Opera was crawling across the stage and crying. And I don't know what it was, but I'm just like, I'm like, I don't know, 18. And so I'm sitting there, and the entire theater is mostly drama kids that are like, oh, it's so sad. And I audibly in the entire theater, just you hear me in the balcony go, this is really quiet part of the play. I was like, oh, no, I'm going to get kicked out.
Yeah. It's just doing the smoker's cough. It's hilarious. Oh, man.
Just cough.
It's great stuff for sure. Anyways, yeah. Craig, this was your selection. You had the chance to pick the show this month.
I did.
And you decided to pick the Highway to Hell from 1998's WWF SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Reasoning behind his choice before we start.
I was. Ooh, yeah, there we go.
Morehouse has the cassette. Yes.
I was just going through pay-per-views and kind of looking at them, and I was just flipping through, and I was like, I don't know about this one. I don't know about that one. And then I just looked at SummerSlam 98, and I was kind of going through the matches, and I was like, I kind of want to see how those matches went. And that's the one I picked.
There we go. So, so that's what we've decided to take a look at this show. If you got any comments or questions, you're watching online, feel free to throw them wherever you're watching, as we're streaming out on Instagram again tonight. We're doing YouTube, and we got both Facebook pages up and running with some fun. So please feel free to throw your comments in below, and we'll get cooking with some of your favorite memories from the summer of 1998. One of my favorite years in wrestling. In fact, it might be my absolute favorite year in wrestling, because you have the WCW versus WWF feud, or not feud, but the Monday Night War is in full swing. WWF has just basically taking over the lead at this point. And WCW still putting out a little bit of quality stuff, especially during the summer. Earlier that summer was the Goldberg Nitro. But, of course, earlier this summer on the WWF side, we had Fully Loaded in Your House, the pay-per-view prior to this, where we had the classic Can They Coexist angle with Undertaker and Steve Austin teaming up against Mankind and Kane for the tag titles. And, of course, the infamous bikini contest with Sable and Jacqueline. Ooh.
This was the tail end of the 83 weeks, or was the 83 weeks done?
The 83 weeks, I believe, were finished. I think the last of the 83 weeks was that spring.
Okay.
Yes.
So
the 83 weeks ended with the McMahon-Austin match, with Austin one hand behind his back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that Valentine's Day Massacre?
No, that was 99.
Oh, that was the Raw. He's talking about the Raw, the Monday Night Raw. It was
a Raw, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Raw from Philly.
It was a Raw in
April,
Toronto, I believe.
I think it was. Yeah.
Or Philly, yeah.
Yeah, it was Philly. It was April 98, I think that happened. So, yeah. So that was the end of it. This is where they were volleying between the two shows. So one week Nitro would get the higher rating. The next week Raw would get the higher rating. Next week Nitro would get the higher rating. Stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And this would have been the same time period as Goldberg Hogan would have just been a week or two ago.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, something like that. I think it was like
late July. Yeah.
Warrior had just walked in WCW, so this is
the beginning of the end.
Yes, we're starting to downward spiral there. Yeah, Warrior had just walked in, and
Hogan's tag teaming right now. He's doing an NBA tag teaming right now.
Oh yes, with Rodman, and they're doing the Malone and
against Malone and DDP and Jay Leno or something.
So that's what this event is competing. This event's competing against Jay Leno versus DDP.
Yes. So
what a match! Only would have wanted Tony Schiavone just to start screaming, just be like, "It's Akeem Olajuwon! He's coming down to the ring!" He's good, man.
It's the dream, Akeem. Oh man, yeah, no, but this is it. This is the annual MSG special that WWE, WWF always seems to put on at MSG, whether it's a huge televised Raw, a pay-per-view, a PLE now as they're called. At least once a year, they have to do one big television production at MSG, because that's kind of their traditional home base and stuff and everything. And so this was it for 1998. In 1998, they had a few house shows there and that stuff, but this was the big one for the year at Madison Square Garden. at New York City. It was August 30th, 1998. And another thing was this was the first pay-per-view PLE I remember with WWE or WWF at the time licensing an actual hit song as its theme, as they licensed AC/DC's Highway to Hell for the Stone Cold Undertaker vignettes.
Which was not used in the network version. They completely took it off.
Right. So you guys, Mr. TL and Craig P. Fraser, you guys watched the Netflix version, which is the network version, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Highway to Hell there.
Myself and Morehouse watched the VHS version, the WWE home video that Morehouse had popped up in frame earlier. And we checked that out. About the only real difference between the two, well, we'll discuss the differences as they come along, but there's about, I think, I looked at it, there's about 6 or 7 minutes of added behind-the-scenes stuff on the VHS, and they're just promos from guys, like post-match promos, so.
Correct.
And a lot of the music. So, and we'll tell you
Yes.
what they are because you didn't see the network part and we did.
Yes, and off the bat, go ahead.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But right off the bat, I'll go ahead and say this. There is a lot of audio difficulties in this show.
Yeah,
I could
what
not
was with
believe
that?
the amount of audio technical difficulties they had throughout this 3-hour show. It was unreal.
At one point, King and Jim Ross were announcing to the entire arena.
They were, and
They were, yeah.
By God, King, he was a center than Oklahoma Tar Heel on no time bed.
if you watch the show, this is nice feedback. If you watch the show with headphones and have it kind of cranked up a little bit, you can hear Vince on the headset giving the audio cues to JR and King on what to say.
Yeah, that was just very. It was horrible audio production for this show.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, it's just I totally forgot about it. This is the first time I've seen this show in a while, but watching it front to back, I'm like, man, the audio that night just did not work at all. It was bad audio.
It was all over the place. It was noticeable. But let's get to it because I did notes for once.
Yes, so did I. So
I got notes. Yeah,
everybody got notes. Okay, so we're going. So,
Mine are in my brain.
I couldn't trust my brain this time because I've had a flu all weekend.
yes.
So I did not trust my own brain.
Well, we'll find out if this was like the ultimate sick day watch or not. Maybe it might have been. I don't know.
Well, let's see what NyQuil Mr. TL has to say about these things.
So again, those of us who watched it on the home video version had about 4 minutes of previews for upcoming stuff, and then it went right into the opening video. The Brothers of Destruction have reunited. They are the most destructive force in the WWF and Mr. McMahon's lapdogs. One goal to eliminate old Stone Cold. And then there's Pyro. And then I think they overdubbed AC/DC with some generic rock because I think on the pay-per-view, this was Highway to Hell, but no, they just...
Yeah,
because they didn't have the license for the VHS, right? So
correct. On the VHS, we got some Jim Johnston bass riff.
nice.
It was a Seinfeld bass rhythm.
Who's ready for some SummerSlam?
I love it.
Kramer comes from the stage. Oh, Jerry.
Newman comes wandering out of the bathroom. It's all pipes. It's all pipes. It's all pipes.
Who's at the pole?
Exactly. It's all pipes.
George is dead. Steinbrenner's back.
SummerSlam X. So this is the 10th SummerSlam, and it goes back to where it all started. The 1988 SummerSlam was at MSG, so 98 goes back to MSG here. This is where we talk about the commentary team, and we are back again with our faves here, JR and Jerry Lawler. Morehouse, I'll let you open with this one. Your thoughts on the Jim Ross Jerry Lawler tandem for this show?
No, I thought they had good chemistry. Jim seemed to be a little off. Jerry was very, very sexual innuendo all night, as he was during this period.
Yeah,
I didn't really pick any notes from them. I thought it was just an average, Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler team up.
Mm-hmm. And gentlemen, feel free to, if there's anything you want to add to that, because I think Morehouse summed it up nicely. But there is the one spot where we'll get to where the PA mic and the broadcast mic kind of cross, and it's broadcasting the PA throughout the entire building, and you can hear audibly the entire crowd going like, whoa, oh, everybody's head's starting to explode. It's like, oh, we can get some commentary with this too.
I was going to say, besides maybe the audio gaffes, I mean, it's JR and Jerry on commentary. They're the hot bath of wrestling commentators. You just when they start talking, you just sit into that bath. You're like, yeah, that's right. They're
the Finnish spa. I like it.
This is wrestling. Here we go.
Yes, for sure. Love
they
it.
were somewhat of a pain in the ass for me because you know how many times they reference baseball throughout this
quite a bit. Yeah, quite a bit for this.
Whether it was Mark McGuire or Sammy Sosa or the Little League World Series.
Yes.
And the home run race.
Stop referencing other sports.
That was relevant at the time, but obviously 25 years on, it's not. No.
Jim Ross continues to tell everybody where every individual wrestler played college football.
That's a peak Jim Ross trope almost. Yeah.
He comes from the University of Maryland, and he played for them Terrapins.
Good old Boomer Sooner.
Lion.
Boomer Sooner, everyone.
It's D'Lo and Val Venus. Why do I care where they played football?
Where did he say Val Venus?
Miami, D'Lo Brown. Canadian football.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did Val Venus play Canadian football, like at the university?
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe in high school. I don't think he ever had a full contract or anything.
It would have been funny if he would have been like, "Oh, that's their Val Venus. He played for the Ottawa Rough Riders," or something like that.
The amount of times though he's pulled out, The Rock.
Still around back then too.
His grandfather, High Chief Peter Maivia, his dad, Rocky Johnson, and him playing for the Stampeders and the CFL. Like he's done that so many times.
Yes.
I just don't want him to mention the Stampeders. Like, come on. What are we doing?
Well, he's a football guy. Of course, he's going to mention it. Anyway. There we go. I'll take this opportunity to do the usual and say, "Ooh, Undertaker!" And at the bottom of the screen is the Nitro Maniac TV's Undertaker Part 1, because there's so much matches on this. There's like, counting the pre-show stuff or Sunday Night Heat stuff that we're just going to get into quickly. There's like 13 matches on here, but I didn't get the chance to watch any of the pre-show stuff just because I can't remember where in the house the tape is with all that. But the free matches on here was a first for WWE because this was one of the first Sunday Night Heat episodes to feature pre-show matches for the pay-per-view, because Sunday Night Heat had debuted something like 2 weeks prior to this. So
cool.
Yeah. So just a quick rundown on those matches. We had Too Much, which is Brian Christopher and Scott Taylor defeating LOD 2000, Animal and Hawk with draws. That runtime was 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Gangrel defeated Dustin Runnels in 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
What gimmick is he doing at that time?
Dustin?
That's when he's no gimmicks now. He's just generic cowboy Dustin because he's thrown away everything until he comes back as Gold Dust again.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of the last wane of Cowboy Dustin for a little bit, and then Goldust comes back in the fall. So, and then we have the Disciples of Apocalypse, 8-Ball and Skull, with Paul Ellering defeating Bradshaw and Vader in a tag team match, 2 minutes and 56 seconds. This match notable as this was Vader's last major show appearance for the WWE.
I just also watched his episode of Dark Side of the Ring too.
Right.
Which was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
A lot of those are heartbreaking.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. The one coming up next week on Tony Atlas, though, might not be heartbreaking, but it might be just a little weird because Tony Atlas is kind of a weird guy. But
I got to mention, when you look at that's JBL Bradshaw, right?
It is, yes.
But he's years away from JBL. He's just the one of the Blackjacks.
He is a Stanton Hansen knockoff at this point. Yes.
He has a mustache.
Yes, he has a mustache and a mullet, and it's just so unlikely that years later he'll become the king of SmackDown.
Yes,
JBL. Yeah. It's just so. It's like the most unlikely story I think in all of wrestling to go all the way up the card from the complete bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Jinder Mahal.
That's because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
That was a fantastic
good callback from the last show we did, which is ECW One Night Stand 2005 in the archives.
That was a fantastic Paul Heyman right
Yeah,
there.
it was. Yeah.
Brush that off.
Oh man, should almost get him to hype the entire card as a ECW Paul Heyman on the pre-show or something like that. Tonight from Madison Square Garden.
Not ECW, that's for sure.
No, it's not. It's WWF.
I don't think they ever got close to
No,
Madison Square Garden.
No. Well, hey, Hammerstein Ballroom is like a block and a half west from Madison Square Garden, I think. So
It's also 10% of the size.
that's true too.
Isn't that also kind of fitting though when you think about it? We're just like, Hammerstein Ballroom, Brooklyn, New York, that's ECW.
Yeah.
And then Madison Square Garden, middle of Manhattan, of course.
Yeah.
WWF, yeah.
That
There we
sums
go.
it up.
Exactly. So boom. Yeah, one's glitz and glamour, and the other is the other is there. So anyway,
Let's get to the shit show, shall we?
the Shizo is going. Yes. Our opening contest was a singles match for the WWF European Championship. Runtime was 15 minutes and 24 seconds. It was D'Lo Brown, the champion at the time, walking in, defeating Val Venus by disqualification. And you guys know how much I love, and I say that sarcastically, love opening matches that end in no contest.
This didn't end in a no contest.
You know what? This match should have been on Sunday Night Heat at this point. I'm just like, why is there no contest here? This sucks.
Did you also know that D'Lo Brown played university at Maine for the Black Bears?
Yes.
I do now. Thanks,
We
Jim
do
Ross.
now, yes.
My thought with this match is the same, I'm going to say, with a lot of the matches tonight. It just seemed like a toss-up, random encounter match with no storyline and no closure.
Mhm.
Welcome to Vince Russo's era of booking, by the way.
Yeah.
You get a lot of that on these shows.
I do like
Yeah,
D'Lo, though. I
do
do love watching D'Lo Brown. Watching him here, young and fresh, and not knowing he doesn't make it, but he's showing the potential here. It's kind of sad to watch.
Yeah, for sure. So,
I'm gonna go through my notes.
okay. Well, I'll run through my notes, which are just basically just hot points in the match here first, and then feel free to chime in, TL, if you can. Yeah. Val doing his best Rick Rude at the beginning of the match. This was, I have written down Val Venus equals great value Rick Rude, which basically was what it was. You look at the gimmick now.
Was Rick Rude supposed to be a porn star?
No.
Male stripper.
Oh, is that what it was?
He's a gigolo.
Yes.
Gigolo. Yeah.
Gigolo, basically. Yeah.
Well, one's a gigolo and one is a recorded porn star. I think it's
They're different.
somewhat
They're different
Yeah.
careers.
Well,
yes.
you gotta look back in its pop culture at the time. You look at what the most sleaziest occupation, I guess people would.
If I had a
think
choice
of
between
in the late '90s, would be porn
a date
star,
with
so-
Rick Rude or a date with Val Venus, Val Venus has no contest here.
I see and shoot myself.
D'Lo, of course, walking out utilizing the infamous chest protector. Yes. This is from the torn pecs that he had back in June, I should say, in a match, and then he just decided to walk out one day with the chest protector, and he used that for like 6 months, and it was part of the European Championship ring. By the way, D'Lo Brown, is he the one guy that's kind of synonymous with the European title because of this run?
No.
Really?
I think because doesn't Shawn Michaels has a pretty memorable run with the European title before he kind of like won the main title and dumped it or something, right?
Well, he just basically that Christmas Raw in '97. It was like the finger poke of doom, but it was DX is what he did. So yeah,
British Bulldog.
the
Yeah.
first champ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Al Snow,
Yeah.
maybe.
William Regal.
William Regal. Yeah. Okay.
Doink the Clown.
Nope. Didn't have it.
never had it.
That was just to set off Mr. TL.
Oh, there'll be many opportunities. You don't have to force it.
I have written down here. Nice to see the New York City fan regulars are ringside here too, because we got Vladimir ringside. We have the guy that used to be at the ECW arena at ringside here in this one, and whatever. And then later on for the match, hide your wives. It's Edge. He's in the garden, but he's doing the creepy kind of creeper gimmick.
What is his gimmick? He's just
There is no
mysterious.
gimmick right now. He's
He's
just
spooky.
He's Spooky Edge, and now he's Spooky Cope.
Well, according to Jim Ross, he's an enigma.
That's
Every
Jeff Hardy.
every
Okay.
every dude that has long blonde hair is an enigma to Jim Ross, apparently.
I don't even know where he played football.
Canada, do they have football?
He's an enigma, Jerry.
Yes. Very smoky opening match. The smoke from the pyro hadn't vacated the garden yet. This is right in
This is
the
hilarious because neither guy gets pyro. It's just the beginning where they're doing the song.
when they blow up the entire building, basically.
Yeah.
Off the beginning, yes. I think these guys were trying to capture the energy of the WrestleMania 10 opener between Owen and Brett and just quite weren't there because you could see that that's the match that they were kind of influenced by, but it's not there. It's like, again, buying Pepsi versus Great Value Cola, right? So,
well, if it is, then they suck at wrestling.
Yeah.
They're not even close to Owen Hart and Bret Hart.
Overall, I thought like it was like a lukewarm.
It's a
Sunday.
TV match. It's a TV
Yeah.
match, is what it is. Yeah.
Do you
I
guys
don't
like the Madison Square Garden camera? How it points to the entrance?
Oh yeah, the set. Yes.
Because
I
the
don't
sideways set.
Picture of that. Yeah.
I've always kind of
nice set.
preferred the bigger set off to the side because you get to see more of the crowd. And then the entrances kind of a bit more like.
This is from the ladder
gravitas.
match later, but this is kind of what we're talking about here.
Yeah. You got the infamous Madison Square Garden side entrance or front entrance there.
Yes. Yeah.
Right at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I guess it for like an event like this, it probably works, so like, I don't mind it because it is one of those niche things. It's like when you go to play golf at St. Andrews, there's the bridge and stuff. So it's one of those like identifying features that,
Well,
works.
there's a reason they do it this way, so they can pack in as many people as they can in the round without having to block off seats.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you remember when Triple H returned for the first time?
Yeah, that was at MSG, right?
That was at
And that was
MSG, and they had the
that was
full
the other
setup
way,
on the
though.
one side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So they had the full stage setup, but they had to block out all those seats in the back.
It does look smaller on that Raw. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
MSG does. Yeah.
So that's what they do when they have big events and they want more seating. They
Yeah.
do a very small entrance, and that's all they have is that little area.
I was fortunate enough back in 2019 to go and see a wrestling event at MSG. I saw the Ring of Honor New Japan G1 Supercard there during Mania Week.
Oh, wow.
And they had a huge Tron as well at one end of the building. And it did cut off a good quarter of the building. So the way that, like, how WWE runs things now with the kind of minimalistic Tron and that stuff and the aisleway makes for better seating. And how they have this is the classic MSG setup. You see the setup here. You see the setup for the Royal Rumble in 2000 as well, with the car kind of hanging over top of the entranceway and everything. This is a classic MSG setup, and Survivor Series 96 prior to this is what we saw as well, right? So,
And like, for a lot of the wrestlers too, like WWE guys or longtime WWE guys, like the MSG shows, like yeah, okay, WrestleMania is the biggest pay-per-view of the year, but like whenever they do an MSG event, that's like everybody, like Vince, even when he was running it, everybody's like, everybody puts on the best dancing shoes because it's like you don't screw up an MSG show.
Yeah,
you're usually getting really like some of the best work out of the wrestlers too because it's a big night.
Yeah, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Right,
it's New York. Yes. Meh match, crap ending.
Except for this opening match.
That's what I have written down. So,
Can I go through my notes now?
Yeah, go for it. Yes. Sorry.
Let's see. It says D'Lo from Helsinki. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. Yes, he was doing a gimmick where every different television appearance, he was from a different European capital, basically. So,
Let's see. Match too long, too many false finishes.
Yes, I agree with you there. Definitely.
D'Lo is 26 years old. Why did I always think he's 42?
He just looks 42.
He looks like he's 42. So he's 26 here. So when he was doing the nation stuff the year before, he was like 25, 24. Man,
Kid, yeah.
jeez, baby.
He's the same age as The Rock.
Yes, yeah. Him and The Rock.
Even when he was with New Jack, he was with him and New Jack. He was 22 with New Jack.
Yeah, yep. Oh, and Smokey. Yep, Smoky Mountain. Yep.
Let's see. Inconsistent selling. Val goes for a T-bone suplex, followed by a boot to the face, then takes a clothesline. Where is the psychology here?
There isn't, because it's a Russo era opening match.
They just keep doing moves and moves and moves. It's like, put some thought into this. If you take a Northern Light suplex, you're going to be on the ground a little bit longer than 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
D'Lo almost drops Val on his head trying a running power bomb.
Yeah. And
Slipped out of his hands and plumped him.
did they try to rerun the spot right after?
They reran the spot and it worked
Yeah.
the second time. The first time he just almost completely paralyzed him.
That's right.
Jim Ross
Never
knows that
rerun the
D'Lo
spot.
played college football, but doesn't know that D'Lo's from Chicago, not New Jersey.
That had to have been a rib. I don't know. I'm looking at that. I'm just like, okay, whatever.
And what a shit finish. Val tries to use D'Lo's chest protector to hit his money shot. The referee holds his leg, telling him to get down from the rope. He gets nut shotted right there and ends up losing the match because he pushes the referee.
Yes.
So disqualification.
There's your Russo era throwaway finish, everybody.
What an awful way to start this pay-per-view. Completely awful. Just a piece of junk. Get out of my life.
Like I said, you can swap.
Comedy.
Yeah, you can swap one of the matches from Heat and throw it in that spot, or not have this match altogether. There's an
But this match ran for so long.
I just don't know why D'Lo's allowed to wear a chest protector, but Val's not allowed to wear a chest protector.
One had his pecs torn off, and the other one didn't.
Yeah, but the commentary's like D'Lo's been healed.
But he got a special notice he got a doctor's note, actually,
Yes,
that he was allowed to wear the chest
doctor's
protector. And they kept saying that on commentary.
Doctor's note. Yes. Indeed.
Oh, Russo, you piece of shit.
Anyways, post-match, the referee is Jimmy Corderas, as you just seen. He gets body slammed, and Val hits the money shot. And it's a good night for Jimmy Corderas because we don't see him the rest of the night. He's done. That's it. Take your payday and later, dude.
Okay, let me know when you get to this next match because I'm going to read the notes and then go take a piss because that's all it deserves.
Okay. Well, we'll go to Michael Cole in the back, standing in front of a hearse. Apparently, that car got trashed by Stone Cold Steve Austin on Sunday Night Heat. But it wasn't The Undertaker's, though. It was Mankind's, and he brought it there as a, quote, present for Kane because he's trying to win Kane back as his tag team partner.
Yo, that did not translate at all when I rewatched this. I was like, what the hell's going on? And why can't I hear McFoley?
Yeah, the audio, again, was very dodgy at this part.
I have this for Kane, and no, it's not for Kane. I was like, what is happening?
Because I need my tag team partner back.
That's a little later.
I'm going to get him back by giving him this hearse. Bang, bang.
Or actually, I think this is right when he gets the sledgehammer. So I think this is in the spot in the show where this frame is from. But yeah, there we go. Same deal. And yeah, that's a young Michael Cole there, everybody. He's getting ready to call WrestleMania in about a week again. So there we go.
Next.
JR interrupted by a live performance by the Insane Clown Posse.
All of this was taken off the network. It's not even
Really?
dubbed over. They just remove it.
Okay, well,
So you don't get ICP or live performance.
you don't
still
get
get the
hands
match.
like this. Hands
You
like
get
this.
nothing. It just goes to
Nope.
Kai and Ty is magically in the ring with them.
Okay.
It's like star wipes and it goes back.
Did they
Okay.
launch
Well,
bottles of Faygo
Kellen
to
and
the
I-
audience?
So Kellen,
I was a serial killer.
No, we get a very bad lip sync version of the Oddities theme song being blasted over top of the MSG speakers and everything like that.
with that audio, yeah.
With Silent J, or Violent J, I should say, screaming hands like this for about 2 minutes. Hands like this.
And Shaggy
hands
Two
like
Dope,
this.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that song on like WWE the music something volume?
the WWE, the music volume
Yes.
3? Yes.
So then
Yeah,
why
yes.
did they have to remove it off the retelecast?
I have no idea. Something like what they did in the mid 2000s to put these things initially on the DVD box sets is they reworked a bunch of music, and a lot of the music edits were very questionable. Like they wiped Demolition's theme music off of the early SummerSlams and WrestleManias and that stuff, and put
They
in their
replaced
own
all the
generic thing.
Jerichos with this WWF one.
That's right. So this is another one of the more infamous ones. Is they just replaced ICP with a whole bunch of hip hop gibberish.
I think it's just because the WWE people were just like, oh shit, do we have to put out the ICP stuff again? They were in our ring. They did whoop whoop.
Hootie Hoo. Oh no, they're not Hootie Hoo. Sorry.
How dare you?
Who?
The No Limit Soldier.
Hootie Hoo. Yeah, that's right. They're WCW. That's right. At this point. So, okay. Well, the next contest here, and TL, you can go ahead and spill your stuff about this, and then go and not spill, I guess. The Oddities versus Kai and Tai.
All right, entrance skip for copy.
Tag match. Kai and Tai holds the advantage. Go ahead, sorry.
Entrance skip for copyright issues. The odds are bigger than I remember. Golga is Earthquake. Kai and Tai dress like they're ready for some 3-on-3 half court. Unprofessional. Water in the sneaker spot got no reaction from the crowd. Hard to imagine ECW exists while this shit is going on in MSG. Giant Silva is wearing track pants and dress shoes with a peach short sleeve button up. 5-on-1 moves, 4-on-1 moves. Waste of time bullshit. Luna gets the biggest pop of the entire match.
Yes.
The end.
Because the New York fans loved Luna, so that's why.
Shit out of here.
Yeah, and there is a Hall of Famer in this match. Well, will be Hall of Famer by this time next week.
Golga.
Yeah, John Tenta. So,
and did you know that John Tenta played on the varsity football team at LSU?
Golga was an LSU star.
I played for the Louisiana State Tiger football team.
Either Jim Ross really said that and you caught it, or you just looked that up. But either way, I think that really happened.
Yeah, that's true. He was an LSU grad after his before he went over to Japan to do the sumo thing.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers! My middle school sports teams were the Tigers, but we had one of our secretaries that did the announcements was from the East Coast, so it was Tigers. So whenever you're like, go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Well, I'll leave this match with this thought. It wasn't very good. It was a product of the times. They were trying desperately to get the oddities over. Well, I don't know desperately, but they were trying to get the
What do you mean product of the times? Who wanted this product?
This is a classic WWF Saturday Night Shotgun match. If I ever saw one.
Yes.
Well, and of course, shotgun. Or give it a shotgun and let it die. Like, why put this on? Why make people pay for this?
Because they paid for the ICP. I guarantee there's some licensing deal. Like, ICP had to come out from Madison Square Garden.
Right, exactly. And well, they have the hookup or they think they have the audio hookups, and that's for live performances, as we see later with the DX band. But that was a botch as well too. But we'll get to that when we get to that. The only 3 other notes I'll add, because mine are very similar to yours, TL, is I thought Kurgan got his role on the oddities because he could dance, but the man can't dance. I'm sorry, he just can't dance. So I don't know what Vince was seeing with the whole dancing thing with him.
The only person who can work in that group was Luna and John Tenta. Yeah,
because Tenta's making it count, man. When he's in there, he's crisp, and the crowd knows it's Earthquake under the Golga mask. So when he starts hitting the ropes to do the whoopee cushion or the Earthquake finish, the crowd all of a sudden stands up and they're like, "Whoa, here we go!" Right? And then that's the
I feel so bad for Tenta, because behind that mask, he must be thinking, if they just didn't leave that fucking beam on the wall, my life would have been so different.
Yeah, there's our boy dropping that's the Earthquake elbow right there, like, obviously. And then and by the way, we have an appearance from one of the greatest wrestling names ever, just name wise, Dick Togo. Togo, yes.
Togo.
Dick Togo. And it's amazing to me at this time that Taka is still active. He still has an active. I always
forget career. One of them, because it's Dick Togo, Takemichi Inoku, Funaki,
and Men's Tao.
Men's Tao.
Or Teo.
Teo, yeah.
Yep, Men's Teo.
Americans would say Teo, but I think the actual pronunciation is Tao.
He sucks.
Either way, everyone involved in this is jobber material.
Double choke slam, and Golga gets the cover for the 1-2-3. And yes, I was choked that he didn't do the Earthquake finish after the choke slam. That would have been fun. Have him get one more little whoopee cushion out there or something like that.
Just rip off the mask, just start earthquaking out.
That'd be
heel.
Could you imagine the pop? Could you imagine a pop from the crowd? The crowd at MSG, they'd be like, "Yeah, Earthquake's back." Yeah, you know.
And he heel turned on the oddities. That'd be fun. Yeah.
Exactly. Hands like this once again to play out. So at least if you watch the home video version, it was hands like this. So. Next contest was the hair versus hair match between Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and X-Pac with Howard Finkel. 11 minutes and 11 seconds for a runtime with this. On the pre-show Sunday Night Heat, Howard Finkel gets shaved bald by Double J and Southern Justice. Set this up.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Did we really get what Craig thought of that last match?
No, we didn't. Go ahead, Craig. My apologies. We jumped ahead.
Well, that match was not good, and it needs to be forgotten. But in this next match, did you know that Jeff Jarrett played high school basketball at Good Pasture Christian Academy outside of
a bitch?
He ran down the roster for the show and got everybody's alma mater, didn't he?
Never played college sports, but it's played high school basketball in Tennessee.
Which I swear to God, Jim Ross must have said that in commentary somewhere.
We're back in there from Tennessee.
He's in magnificent shape.
Yeah.
Playing high school basketball.
I just like looking at these young boys running around in good shape.
Craig Fraser doing Joe
The
Bowen
NCAA
levels
is pain.
of research here for the show.
Holy Mackinac.
Exactly. This was the beginning of the "Don't Piss Me Off" Double J. Yes, which would end up morphing into the chosen one in WCW, I guess.
Hey, you know what I call this match? The "Don't Interrupt My Piss" from the last match.
So, general discussion: X-Pac and Jarrett. You could tell that Jarrett was going to lose his hair because it's a kind of
He
a
has
weird
his hair in a
hairdo.
way he's never had it before.
It's strange, yeah. It's a weird hairdo for Jeff Jarrett.
It's also like super wet, as if a barber was about to cut it.
It's all wet down, yes. Like he took like 6 showers before wearing that.
Can I do the notes again?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Who is Southern Justice?
Oh, that's the Godwins.
The Godwins.
Oh my God, that's them repackaged?
Mark
Yes.
Canterbury and Dennis Knight before the Ministry. Yes.
Yep.
Next, that damn theme song. Oh God, yes, right. As soon as you hear Jeff Jarrett's theme song, like
Bank, bank,
that'll soften a penis. Yeah. As soon as you hear that,
the good news is this is the last time
limp
you'll hear
dick everywhere.
This is the last time you'll hear it because
It's gimmick changed night.
that's right. The next night on Raw,
Lord.
it's instantly don't piss me off, Jeff Jarrett. So
Which he'll take on the WCW because no one gave a fuck about that.
that's
in
right.
WWF.
Exactly. Yeah.
Something weird happened in Xbox entrance where they kept showing his Titantron and the audio goes wonky.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. We got the same thing on the home video release, so obviously it was an edit off of the pay-per-view. I almost wonder if somebody jumped the rail.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Because it was like an awkward length, wasn't it? It was like
a minute and a half or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Finkel with a strong suck it at the beginning of this match.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
X-Pac is also 26 years old.
He is. There's a lot of 26-year-olds in this.
And he went to the Minnesota University or whatever.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Craig stepped away for a moment. He has all the notes on where X-Pac went, and that's he'll be right back.
Foot caught in the rope on a springboard plancha. This is a much faster match. Lots of power slams as reversals.
Yes.
No selling the leg on a figure four. God damn it, X-Pac! If you get a figure four put on you for like 5 minutes, sell your leg.
Yes.
Jeez.
He also has tiny legs, right? That would hurt tiny legs.
And also, he loves to kick. So if you take down one of his legs, maybe stop kicking after.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, not tonight, brother. X-Pac's going over.
X-Pac has one of the worst punches I've ever seen in a professional wrestler. It's like when he's setting up, he's like his punches are like this. It's the weirdest looking shit I've ever seen.
What I've noticed with Waltman in his matches is he hung out obviously in the clique. He hung out a lot with Scott Hall, and so I think Scott tried to teach him how to punch, and so every punch that Waltman throws is like a cheap knockoff of the Scott Hall punch.
Well, he did not learn very well.
It's like 1-2 free kid Xbox trying to be Razor Ramon in the ring with the punching. So.
Well, it's either bad teacher, bad
What-
student, or just a bad synergy altogether because he can't punch for shit.
It's a 5'9" guy trying to do a 6'9" guy's move. That's what it is.
But it's completely off. Like, go and watch it. It's the funniest.
No, I
goofy
get what
shit
you're
you've ever
saying.
seen.
Yeah.
How much meth was X-Pac on at the start?
Oh, Lord.
It's 98, so it could be quite a bit.
You could have just been like,
He's punched leprechauns.
oh,
That
man.
would explain his theme song, by the way. X-Pac! I hate that. Word the referee didn't see or hear that guitar shot? Really?
Yes.
Hair Dave doesn't get the pot that it should because it takes way too long, and Southern Justice does not do shit all to stop this from happening.
Right.
And Method Man couldn't get front row seats.
He was in
Yes,
he was in nosebleeds.
I was going to talk about that. Yeah, dude. Method Man in the house.
Yeah.
Looking very 1998.
I like the businessman
way
in
in
front
the
of him, too. I like that businessman. He looks out of place.
Yeah, it must be his agent or something. Just like, hey.
Quick little pop quiz. What does Wu-Tang tell you to protect?
Oh, for God's sakes.
You got to protect your neck.
Gotcha.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Inspector
enough.
Deck.
Hey,
Fair enough.
I got one for you. What college sport did Method Man play? That
I was
got him
going
a
to say,
scholarship?
what was his
I don't know this. I didn't look it up. What sport did Method Man play?
Check this out. For his scholarship, Method Man played lacrosse.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Damn.
What university though?
Syracuse or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So it's
Syracuse.
It would have to be an East Coast school. Yeah. That's where all the lacrosse programs
Well,
are,
and
basically.
in lacrosse,
The big ones.
you have to protect your neck. So maybe Wu-Tang was inspired by lacrosse.
By lacrosse.
To protect your neck. I mean, maybe.
All of this is more interesting than this match, by the way.
I was going to say, at the end of it all, there's a haircut. And yes.
Yep.
Which took so long and nothing really happened because it didn't. I don't know if they don't know how to use shears or what.
No,
their
the
deal is.
Clippers burnt out. They tried starting with the Clippers and then they stopped and then they were like, "Oh, let's just get scissors." And so
It's
they
'cause-
just
Yeah, they started using
cutting scissors.
kindergarten scissors.
Yes,
It's
Yeah, it
because
was-
he wet his hair
wasn't
before
hair
they
cutting
used the
scissors.
clippers. You're not supposed to wet your hair when you're going to use clippers, so they messed up. And
That's right.
when he was using it, they jammed up the clipper.
yes. I was going to say Morehouse's wife is
A
in
hairdresser, yes.
the hairdressing industry. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Can't
he
you
would know
tell?
that, yeah. I was going to say, yeah,
Hey,
same haircut. He always looks great. Mr.
Always
T.
got the polish.
I did hear that as I'm like growing out my beard and stuff. They say like you should never trim or anything with clippers if your hair's
Yes.
wet. You always got to dry your hair.
That's true.
That's right,
So that's what happened. That's why it stopped working when they needed it.
There you go.
All right. So
anybody else got notes on this shit fest?
not really. No, I think we hit that all there. That happened, and that was it. So
I had it could have been a good mid card match. It just kind of fell flat for me.
it did.
I
Yeah.
think they could have booked the
Potential
hair
was there,
versus
but-
hair a lot better because I don't think there was any heat in this match. It was just like,
Yeah.
I think Jeff Jarrett wants a haircut. Let's book him in a hair versus hair match.
This
Not a
was
great way to gimmick your matches is by off
This-
like a wrestler thinking about trying a new look.
oh
Like, let's put it into a match. It's like no.
so this was, and TL will blow his mind here with this because this was not a Vince Russo booking decision. This was a Jeff Jarrett, Jim Cornette booking decision on the show. It's one of those This is one of those old school Southern gimmick matches, right? Hair versus
Somehow
hair.
I imagine Jim Cornette's having a heart attack in the back because they did everything wrong in this match. You don't wet the fucking hair.
Why you wet hair? They know you're going to lose.
Yeah. But yeah, I've when I did a little deep dive on that, I was like, oh, okay, I thought Russo booked this, but no, this was completely.
Oh,
Cornette.
worse, we got
and
Jeff Jarrett
Jarrett.
booking his own
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. Because they were trying to, drop the country singer gimmick and give him the more. Well, I guess it's the
Well, this is just after his and gimmick too, right?
current age. Yeah. Exactly right. So we go to the MSG feeder next, and Doc Hendricks is in the MSG feeder next to the Lion's Den kind of hyping things up for that. And then he throws right back, right quick. Like it was only within like 30 seconds to Michael Cole, who has The Rock backstage. And they reviewed a sneak attack on Heat with The Rock nailing Triple H's knee. So obviously the knee in that match is going to be the target for The Rock. So that's it. I grabbed the still frame from that. No, that's it.
Look at that. Smiling boy.
Just smiling.
That's
Pearly
a real
white.
blue chipper right there. Out of the University of Miami.
I was going to say, okay, get the university there too. So, boom. Mixed tag team matchup next. We had Marvelous Mark Merrow and Jacqueline versus Sable and question mark.
Even after question mark.
Yes. So the infamous mystery partner tag match, who ends up being Edge, and Edge and Sable defeat Mark Merrill and Jacqueline in 8 minutes and 26 seconds. There's a little bit of mystique around the mystery partner thing because they were playing this angle on Raw that nobody wanted a team with Sable. I don't understand why. Whatever, But
so my opinion here, he was very rookie. Like this is like his second month with the company, so nobody really knows him.
Yeah, this is Edge's pay-per-view debut. Yes,
pay-per-view debut. He's going to be Sable's surprise tag team partner. Nobody in the crowd really knows who this cat is. Mm-hmm. After the match, he never appears with her again. It's never mentioned again. They've never worked together again.
They don't even.
They're not even in the same room again.
I was going to say they don't even tag on the UK shows at all.
No,
we're running that angle back later in the year.
This is I'm here for you, Sable, for 3 minutes. Bye.
Did you know that Mark Merrow was the most valuable player on his Pee Wee hockey team in Liverpool, New York?
That is not true. You made that up.
No, it's not.
I thought he was a boxer. I thought he was a boxer.
He was a boxer. He was a boxer. He was under the tutelage of a University of Central Florida coach, George O'Heary, and he became a Golden Gloves boxer in New York.
Love this.
Hey, do you know what else? Do you know what else about Mark Merrow? He looks like Ben Stiller in Dodgeball.
He does, yeah, with the mustache and the hair. He certainly does. Yeah.
Nitro, find that photo somewhere on the internets.
I think I might have it here already. I'm just going to try. Well, that's him laying down. That's not really a good split. That's the finish for that.
No. Find Ben Stiller in Dodgeball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In the meantime, good Lord.
I'm on it.
Good Lord. What an absolute abortion this match was.
Oh, I don't want that. I want this.
Sable is just awful.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie's trying her best. Edge always has looked like a lanky lawn dart. I just realized that. He just has... Everyone uses the DDT counter throughout this entire pay-per-view, and this match was a real big culprit of that.
Mm-hmm.
And, suicide dive by Edge. Didn't touch the ropes. He just went straight over and onto Mark Merrill. That was nuts.
And you wonder now why Edge had his injury issue. After watching matches like that, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, shaped like a lawn dart, just launching himself at everything.
But by the way, here's the picture you requested right here. So
yeah, there you go. There's Mark Merrill.
Mm-hmm. Basically, yes.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of his like accent.
That's a matchup graphic,
but I just keep coming back to Zoom. I know it's not.
No, it's like I have a wife named Sable.
Yeah.
Don't make me bleed my own blood.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Basically, yeah, it's the same guy. It's almost the same guy, except Mark might have a better tan. I don't know.
You pulled up that photo, and the first thing that hit my head was "It's Matilda." I was like, it's not the right movie. It's not the right movie. Aliens are up there Googleizing. You don't even know what a googly was.
No, with that face, the lines that will come out of his face would be like something like, "We should mate." What did you say? I said we should date.
Yeah. Oh man,
great movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
My all-star team of dodgeball players. What is it? Blaze, Blazer, Laser, Michelle.
Yeah. And then the Ukrainian lady.
Yeah, Michelle.
Yeah. No, Michelle was the big black guy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And they hit somebody out, and he says, "Joni love Chachi."
Finish for this thing was a downward spiral and a assisted Firebird splash. Yes, that move does have a name, obviously, by Edge with Sable. And Sable nets the 1-2-3 for the Sable Edge tag.
Oh yeah, in a match where you can only fight your own gender, somehow Sable gets a legal pin on Mark Merrill.
Yeah. Back to Russo booking here.
Fucking hell.
Well, he did play
Anything
Johnny
else on this
Bad,
one
not as
before
a
we move
feminine
on?
character. So
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Fraze, you got anything on this?
You know, this match was not great. Again, it's one of those ones where it's like, I think a theme from a lot of this card that I was noticing through these matches was, you know, like they could have been booked a lot better. The matches could have been a lot better. I think that looking at this card, you know, from now looking back on it, I'm like, this card has some potential to actually be really good. But yeah, this is just one of those ones. Like, it's just another kind of flat one for me. You know, I was like, this could have been a, you know, like a 7 out of 10 match, but it was like a 4 out of 10 match.
Gotcha.
This was a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, it's just tying up the Sable Mark Merrill feud so they could push Sable onto something else, and then
because like you could still like Jacqueline would have had to, like, Jacqueline was a great talent. She could have, you know, she was going to have to carry Sable a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, you could have had a great, like, Mark Merrill versus Edge, 2 great workers.
Well, that's what happens after this. Is it's the lead to Survivor Series and a women's title match between Sable and Jacqueline, and reinstituting the women's title that had been dormant for a bit. So
I'm gonna say slow your roll. Mark Merrill's not a great worker. He's okay at best.
he's a good opener. Mark Merrill's the best opener you'll ever see.
because that's all he worked in WCW was opening matches. Yeah,
So,
that's right.
Point taken. But that's the thing, is like, at this part in the card, you know, with a young Edge, obviously Edge is not where he, you know,
He's not a legend yet.
He's rookie.
he's a rookie Edge, but like this could have been a very solid early match, and it just wasn't.
So we're what, like 0 for 4 in this card so far?
Yeah, it's not looking too promising.
Again,
right?
this is not Craig's fault, because on paper, this looks pretty good.
Yeah,
and then we got into it and we are like, oh, this is just burning.
Again, folks, the whole concept of this show is let's take shows from yesteryear and look at it through 2024, 2025 eyes.
Yes.
And see, you know, if they still hold up or if they're as good as we remember them or whatever, right?
And the problem is, in today's day and age, we're privileged to the best creative we've ever seen. When we compare it to creative from 30 years ago.
I don't know about that, but
from 30 years ago, I would take today's creative over Attitude creative.
Well,
that's
actually,
the next debate episode. Here we go.
That is, that's a good idea. That's a good step up.
That sounds like a good episode.
I don't know about that, man.
It's tough, because at its highest moments, the Attitude Era is spectacular, but at its lowest moments, you get shit like this.
Yes,
absolutely.
And there's a lot of this that we just kind of swept under the rug or forgot about.
That is a good
Didn't
point.
you guys just do Rumble 99 recently too?
No, which one did we do? We did we did Rumble. I think the most recent one we did was 91, obviously.
That's all right. It doesn't matter. But yeah.
No, we did No Way Out 2001. That's what what you're thinking of.
Which is a better creative than Attitude Era, I think, as 01.
Oh yeah, all the 01 stuff before the invasion is good too. So
I'm starting to feel like, again, going back in the day when this stuff happened, I would get to see the Raw and not even Heat, just Raw on Mondays on TV, and I never get to see the pay-per-view unless a friend taped it who had the box, who gave me the tape the next day. But by then you wouldn't even want.
Right,
or you wouldn't even want to watch it because you've already seen the Raw that's just going to happen. So I think in these days they put way more effort into the Raws and the ratings than they did the pay-per-views.
Of course. So we got comments coming in on the YouTube channel right now. We got Andre Cito checking in, says hello, and basically asking, what are you guys talking about? Well, we're talking about SummerSlam 1998 here, Andre Cito. And we're I want to say about halfway through the card, because the next match here is the Lion's Den match that we're going to hit up on the card here. This was Ken Shamrock defeating Owen Hart, who had Dan B. Severin by submission in the Lion's Den match, the first ever Lion's Den match in WWF history, 9 minutes and 15 seconds. So think it's the sign of the times. You got to go back to 1998. UFC is hot.
No, it's not.
Well, it's on the rise.
No, UFC's. No, they don't even
Or
have
is
their
it
pay-per-view
tank?
contract right now. They're banned on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Wow,
UFC
okay.
is ice cold, which is why Shamrock is in the WWF and not doing mixed martial arts.
And that would also and
Yeah.
Severn's
During
old
this
at
period,
point
UFC
too, so.
only ran pay on demand, so it wasn't even pay-per-view. It was the old type of pay-per-view, and it was only done in arenas in Arkansas and Louisiana.
That's
Okay.
right.
Gotcha.
That's right.
So they were bouncing between the. Yeah, that's a dark era. All right. Well,
And
there goes I'm scrapping my line of thought then. so go ahead.
I was going to say Ken Shamrock was in the WWE because he turned down a contract with the San Diego Chargers, and he played college football at Shasta College.
You shut the hell up. You shut up.
Before that,
I have to learn not to take a swig of my Mountain Dew here while he's talking because that ends up in my nose the entire time. This is a good lesson for me not to drink during this. Yes.
Should have known.
Yeah. So this match takes place in the theater at MSG. So if you've never been to Madison Square Garden, there's an adjacent theater alongside or in the building, but it's it seats about 5,000 people and that stuff. I think it used to be called the Felt Forum or something, and they do a lot of
call it mini MSG, where like the comedians go to shoot their specials if they can't get a big arena.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. NXT just ran there recently. If you're looking for
it's very famous because you'll know it has the crisscross hash mark lights in the background.
Yep. Exactly. So this is the debut of the Blue Shamrock tights. The first time you'll see for the next year or so. The rest of his WWE run, he goes from red to blue.
I'm amazed you know that.
There, it just popped up. This is something that was on this is deep web searching. I found this out and I totally forgot about this. There was talk at the time that Sunday Night Heat might evolve into an exclusive Lions Den match program for an hour, featuring a Lions Den division filled with submission-based wrestlers WWE had at the time.
Fuck Russo.
Raw Underground.
Basically. So it was Raw Underground before Raw Underground.
No, it's Russo not liking wrestling, and he wanted wrestling to be anything but wrestling, including Brawl for All, including Lions Den matches, including bra and panties matches, whatever the hell to not be squared circle wrestling.
Because on interviews I've listened to Russo, he does say that the wrestling constricts his creative flow.
Oh, the wrestling matches. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Maybe he shouldn't be in fucking wrestling to do writing.
What's our thoughts on this match here? I thought it's such a weird match type that it's like, okay, I think both guys did the best with what they were given, but the month earlier you had the dungeon match, and I thought the dungeon match was a better kind of no holds barred type thing, or grappling or whatever.
I think for both
this,
Owen and Ken didn't really know how to work this match. Like they're trying to come up with new creative things, but because it's the first of its kind, it's going to be, it's all an experiment for everyone involved. As well with the audience, I don't think they could really see what was happening. So half the match.
Oh, there's an audible, boring.
They couldn't see anything.
Yeah. There's an audible, boring.
So I don't think the crowd helped this match at all. There is a better, style match in NXT later in 2020 with Matt Riddle and Thatcher. If you do want to see a better style of this match,
of course.
Oh yeah, what is that called?
Because it's the second version of it. It wasn't called Lions Den, but it was the same type of match.
Yeah. And they used it. They actually did it in the ring. They just took the ropes out.
Yes. Well, exactly.
And they put the fence. Yeah.
So that was kind of the next generation of this, but
I feel like this is again one of those kind of like attitude era gimmicky kind of matches that just you're gonna restrict a guy that could work like Owen Hart.
Yeah,
and, Shamrock. He was an MMA guy. He was still pretty good in WWF. You could have just had these guys have a really good match in a ring.
Yeah.
It didn't need it. No, it didn't need the den where the crowd couldn't even see it.
What it needed was to be a submission match. Exactly. Just to go submission match rules and have them.
That's better. The sharpshooter or the ankle lock. Let's find
out. Yeah. Well, that would have been that would have woke the fans up big time at MSG.
Yeah.
You know, big time, absolutely. So, but instead we get boring chants during the show or this part of the show, and it's like, oh no. But yeah, ankle lock as Dan Severn thinks about throwing in the towel, but then just kind of walks off and leaves, and Owen taps, and Ken Shamrock wins Lions Den 1. And then we go right to the back.
Why?
Okay, go for it. Sorry.
Why did Owen pass out from an ankle lock?
I think
He's
they're just
been a
getting
worse
over the
sharpshooters,
ankle
yeah.
lock. Yeah.
Is it what?
He's been in way worse sharpshooters, I guess.
The sharpshooters, yeah. The Brett's sharpshooter in the cage.
It's not cutting off the circulation of his breathing. Like, why would the ankle lock make him pass out?
I don't know.
Right.
The pain is
was
too
so
good.
painful.
The pain.
The pain was too painful.
This is Vince Russo in a writing room. Like he's got a pen like this, and he's just kind of like, so what if like the pain from the ankle lock hurts so much that he like passed out? Wouldn't that be wild? That's wrestling. Put that in. Like
that's bang on, but you need a few more bros with that. Bro.
Listen,
But yeah, medically that doesn't make sense. Medically, it doesn't make sense to have something grabbing your leg and then you get unconscious.
And you pass. It was dumb.
Yeah.
But also, like, okay, this match was a production nightmare. The commentators didn't know how to call it.
Yes.
The wrestlers didn't know how to wrestle in it. It was such a tight space, and I don't know what that mat was made out of, but it had no spring.
Yeah, it wasn't like a ring. It was
probably
the
just
ring
plywood.
canvas and plywood.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that shit must have hurt to bump on.
Mm-hmm.
Although it was like tough and physical and everything, but like you guys said it. This match didn't need to be in a Lions Den. They could have done this as a cage match.
There's a spot that they pull in this match where Shamrock gets whipped into the cage and then comes back with like a stiff short arm clothesline on Owen, and Owen bumps. And I thought I could see like all of the air leave Owen's body when he hits the ground. Like dude legit wins himself at this point.
Oh yeah, he probably fell back onto plywood. Ouch.
Yeah, it just
No,
and even the crowd in the felt forum's like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Also, where do they get people to fill the mini MSG to do one match?
Because they were showing the pay-per-view closed circuit in there.
Oh, jeez.
That's you can watch it on TV and then get your free match. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. That match
I
is a
agree.
production
Damn.
nightmare.
Yeah, especially that bump was a damn bump. Yeah, for sure. It's a damn. I got it.
No, but that match is a production nightmare.
Yes, for sure.
Damn.
We get a Stone Cold promo with Michael Cole. So, Craig, take it away. What did Stone Cold have to say here to Michael Cole?
Well, Michael Cole was like, so Steve, how do you feel that this match is going to go and what you're going to do? And Stone Cold was like, well, let me tell you this, Michael Cole. Stone Cold Steve Austin's coming to town, and I've had a couple Budweisers.
What?
And I'm feeling really pissed off. I'm going to open up a can of whoop ass on The Undertaker, that big, dumb, dead son of a bitch. And I'm going to stomp a mud hole and walk it dry. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
You missed the promo, didn't you?
I can't remember it.
Hey, close enough, right? So,
I watched this like a month ago.
The promo basically, Cole was asking Austin how his thoughts on Taker and Undertaker and Kane maybe teaming up tonight.
Gotcha.
That big red stupid son of a bitch and that big dead son of a bitch, they don't bother me. I'm going to walk through both of them.
That's basically the promo right there. So there, he didn't miss anything. He nailed the promo as it was. So, okay.
He gave his respect to the Undertaker. He uses the Stone Cold face line he always uses, where it's like, I respect the Undertaker more than anybody else in that damn locker room. Ain't going to make a damn bit of difference. And then he goes on to his finisher.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Still give respect, but then I'm going to still whoop your ass.
Yes. It's the face Stone Cold.
Right? Yes.
I think you're a hell of a guy, but I'll kick your ass all Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Twice on Monday.
Twice on Sunday.
I still
go home Wednesday and take a look at the solid ass cats. Poncho Macho.
Hey Poncho, come here, you solid ass cat.
Come here, Poncho.
Come here, Poncho. How you doing there, Poncho?
Poncho.
I just love how like Stone Cold is now just like a dad on a farm, and he just
Yeah.
gets happier.
He's just a
And he just did
crazy dad.
TikToks with his cats all day.
Yeah.
These are my cats. That's a solid ass cat. Damn cat. That Kevin Owens has been talking trash. I'm gonna have to go set him straight.
They're gonna come back and hang out with Poncho.
I'm back with Poncho. Get here, Poncho. Give you some cuddles. Come here, Poncho. Oh, that damn cat. He's running away.
Okay, now that was better than the Stone Cold promo we just
That
got.
was
So let's
awesome.
move on.
Yeah, there we go. All right, WWF Tag Team Championship on the line. It's supposed to be Mankind and Kane defending the titles against the New Age Outlaws in a no holds barred match or a false count anywhere match. Same deal.
Did we miss a promo where
We missed
Vince McMahon
Mankind's
has to-
promo. With Mankind had
we
a
did.
promo as well,
Yeah.
which had
Go for
actually one of my my favorite closing of any promo, where I believe, where was it? I wrote it down here. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck cut wood? And then he walked away from Vince.
Vince was so proud of himself that
I've got 13 words for you.
Vince was so proud of himself. He went in the back to find any weapon he could. He found a chafing dish, a
Yep.
dinner
Yes.
tray, and he said, "I'll give it to you on a
And a candelabra.
silver platter."
There's a candelabra too. He
Yeah.
handed him a candelabra because it's MSG. Of course, there's a candelabra somewhere at Madison Square
And
Garden.
he was so proud of himself for finding this chafing dish
Yeah.
and being like, "I can use anything and make it work in a promo. Now get out there, Mankind."
I think the candelabra was a WrestleMania 1 reference or homage because they had Liberace at WrestleMania 1. So.
Oh,
And
no,
then
Mankind really took this out.
Chuck. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, have a nice day.
And then,
kinda
he,
just
and then it
walked
cut to
really went
Vince,
to the ring.
and Vince's face looked like he died 1,000 deaths.
Why are you in this company?
What a man. Oh man, love this stuff. That's great stuff. So no holds barred, false count anywhere rules. Yeah, the Outlaws roll out with a dumpster. It's a throwback to the WrestleMania 14 match that they had with Mick Foley, who was then Cactus Jack. It was a dumpster match at WrestleMania 14.
Oh yes, Road
That's what
Dogg declares we're kicking it old school.
Yes,
Boys, you've been in this company for maybe 2 years.
they're going back to '97.
Yeah, that is not old school. That's last year.
We're going
I know
before
it's-
DX. When we were kind of associated with DX, but not really part of DX.
When we were DX adjacent.
Yeah. So
Kicking it old school and have Stu Hart go out there and be like,
Okay, I kind of want to see Billy Gunn
Yes,
and
I
Jesse
love
James
that.
come out in like classic wrestling gear.
choke you out now with this.
the old age Outlaws.
You're
Greco
screwed
Roman
now.
style tonight, guys.
Still, would you knock it off?
It's just rolling over. Hey,
I want to
Tiger.
point.
Hey, Tiger.
Hey,
I'm
Tiger.
gonna put you in this headlock now, Tiger. There you go.
Tiger.
You're good now, Tiger. Go, Tiger.
Oh man.
I
Yep.
need to- I have to point out.
Actually, in this match, did you know that Billy Gunn used to be a bull rider before
No.
Yes,
he was?
that's true. That bit's true. He was a bull rider before he was a wrestler. He was like
I
Texas
wanna
state
know
champion
how
or something.
The guy who was like the roadie for a country singer who made the country song
Yes.
and the former bull rider end up as this tag team
Yes.
where they're in DX and quoting hip hop.
Apparently, Road Dogg used to be a Marine too before this.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Frazier
And
did
that-
all his research tonight. I love
And
this.
none of this adds
Deep
up to the
dive
tag
Frazier.
team that they are. Saying things like shizzle dizzle.
Mick Foley was a
right.
star lacrosse player at West Melville High School.
There you
You're
go.
doing it too.
Yeah.
Cut it
It's
out.
contagious. Telling you, everybody's bringing their A game tonight. TL, what are you bringing?
The anger that this pay-per-view deserves. Speaking of which,
Post match. We'll talk this post match thing here that happens. The Outlaws, they run down Mankind.
Mr.
and
TL will
attack
have
the division a
spots.
little bit.
He has
Yes.
notes. You didn't let him share
Go
his
for it.
thoughts.
Oh, no, I want to know is this dumpster
Yes.
was filled with a stainless steel bowl
Yeah.
that Road Dogg uses at some point, right?
He's
A
got props.
cookie tray,
Yeah.
dirty as this too.
Mhm.
MSG.
Did they do a break and enter at a kitchen or a bakery?
You forgot there's also a Kane in there.
Oh yeah, and Kane's in there. They just didn't. They didn't realize the weight change.
It's Kane.
They didn't smell the smoke that apparently he smells like.
Well, to be fair, it's New York. So, I mean, like, that's an average day in New York.
Oh, and don't forget, Mick Foley comes in with a baking tray.
A candelabra.
And did they break
Sure,
into the
candelabra.
MSG kitchen and just steal all their shit? And
I
that's
think
all
they
they
did,
could use for equipment.
Sounds
in this
about right.
match.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yep.
Don't forget, this was August 30th of that year. So the Knicks nor the Rangers weren't playing. So events at MSG were probably not as plentiful as they
All
would
they
normally
had
be.
keys to
cares?
was they only had keys to the catering room.
That's right. So they had
Get
access to
real
more shit.
weapons. Get a baseball bat. Get a crutch. Pack some chairs.
Well, don't
And
forget.
by the way, look out for any canes.
Yeah, don't forget Mick had the sledgehammer, and then the sledgehammer went missing.
Yeah.
Which I think is explained later on Raw that Mr. McMahon actually gave Kane the sledgehammer. He took the sledgehammer from Mick.
But then Kane was in the garbage can, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But that's how it was on. That's how it was explained on Raw. I'm not saying it made any sense. That's what it was. But yes, Kane is in the dumpster with the sledgehammer, and he smokes Mankind with the sledgehammer. And JR goes full bore, and by God, at that point, like it's just an insane
The
level of by
crowd didn't
God.
know what to do with this because they kind of like Mankind,
Yes,
and they
And they like
kinda
the New
feel
Age
like-
Outlaws.
Yeah. So this was twisted and weird, and yeah.
This is a Monday Night Raw match if I ever saw a Monday Night Raw match.
Yeah.
it felt like
This
it.
is-
Yeah,
This is an angle. This is not something you need to pay for.
that's right. Yeah, it should have been something that they could have done on Raw for sure.
Craig, what would you
Yeah.
think of this being your favorite as Kane is in this involved somehow?
Is Kane his favorite or the Undertaker? I can't remember now.
Undertaker is my favorite, but I like Kane too.
Okay.
A lot. The Brothers of Destruction. I don't know. I like the big monsters. I don't know. Like it seemed like this match could have been, I don't know, a lot more. But yeah, I don't know. I from what I recall, I remember this kind of watching this, and I was like, oh, I wanted more from this Mankind match because
Right.
Mankind usually would always go out there and stretch the envelope and usually put his body too much on the line. But yeah, I don't know. I felt that this was kind of like just yet another like I saw this one. I was like,
Fair enough.
handicap match with Mankind against the New Age Outlaws. I was like, that could be good. And then I said, Kane's involved in that because they were tag partners, but there's like the Rift or whatever or something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this might be interesting. And then yeah, I don't know. I kind of was left underwhelmed.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Yeah. Again, it's always that angle at the end where they basically move Mankind away from Kane, but in the coming weeks, Mankind is brought back into the corporate fold prior to Survivors. It makes like no sense. They undo this almost as quickly as they do this. This is
This is the
kind
start
a
of
weird deal.
Mankind's hardcore title run.
It is. Yes. Yeah. It leads to your hardcore title eventually, but yeah, more Russo goodness, I guess, right there. Next contest was the WWE or WWF, I should say, Intercontinental title match. The Rock, the champion, taking on Triple H. The run time for this one was 25:58, and Triple H with China defeats The Rock with Mark Henry. I'll run through my notes because I don't have a lot of notes for this, but and then TL, you can just jump off the back with yours, and we'll go from there. The DX band plays Triple H to the ring. How does a band sound this bad at MSG? Well, because of the sound and the fact that the band sucks. So there we go.
They also sounded bad at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but they sounded better at Boston at the TD Bankdorf Garden than they did here. It's weird, it's strange, but whatever. It's still terrible, especially if you get a copy of the pre-show for WrestleMania. They do the America the Beautiful.
Ugh.
Bad,
But they do it in the Rise Against the Machine style.
Yeah, the Rage Against the Machine. A Rage Against the Machine style version of America the Beautiful.
Yeah.
Does not work. Yeah.
Isn't so from what I recall, this is the guy that does the DX theme, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But it's the.
Are you ready?
This is the My Time, or do they do DX?
This is DX, but they also do My Time later on as well too.
And X-Pac and
and X-Pac,
and Mike Tyson and
But that theme song doesn't exist yet. It's just the DX theme song.
I remember they doing the DX.
Also, good cameo, Jim Johnston playing the bass.
Yeah, he's wearing a black DX shirt, and I think it's like capris or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, since this time, I mean, Triple H has had a way better being played to the ring when Motorhead actually played him to the ring. It's fucking Motorhead. So there you go.
So
what's the lead singer of this garbage band? Chris Warren?
Yes, he is no longer with us. He's passed away a number of years ago.
Okay, I won't say shit.
Yeah, he passed away a number of years ago. This match doesn't have the same luster as it would, say, 2 or 3 years from this, but it also feels like it's a forgotten ladder match. Like when people talk about ladder matches, they talk about obviously the classic between Razor and Shawn, or you might hear like RVD and Eddie Guerrero, or other ladder matches like Undertaker, Jeff Hardy, stuff like that. Nobody talks about Triple H and The Rock.
Rewatching this, I think this is actually a really good ladder match. I think they use the ladder. They use the ladder in a different way than we traditionally see today, where most of it's high spots. They used it as an actual weapon and a weapon to use against their opponent, which is the way a ladder match actually should be, and not, let me jump off a ladder.
It was a great psychology. Yeah, I loved the psychology in this match. This was awesome because they did the whole thing where Rock was going after with the ladder and with his own abilities on Triple H's knee, and then Triple H was going after The Rock, especially after the baseball slide into the face with The Rock's face, and using the ladder as a weapon as well. Yeah, no, it was phenomenal.
And this is legitimately 2 heavyweights in a ladder match, which you rarely ever see.
Yes, yeah, that's another thing. Two heavyweights that could move, 2 heavyweights that could wrestle back and forth.
But they're not doing lucha stuff, and they're not using they're not using the ladder as exactly.
There's there's heavyweights at this time doing wrestling stuff. The problem is the heavyweights that are doing wrestling stuff are guys in their 40s or early 50s and stuff, and they're over on the other show on WCW Nitro doing the posing and stuff like that. At this time, they ran for the ages again. They kind of made the point that the WWF had the younger roster here throughout the show. They kind of beat us over the head with it.
The Rock is 26, Triple H is 29.
Yeah, 29, right? So and it also made me feel old. It's like, oh man, Rock is 26 here and Triple H is 29. We're getting old. Damn.
Now I kind of want to see a match, like a ladder match that would have been like Yokozuna versus Vader. Just to see 2 big super heavyweights going up the ladder, just
a bonsai drop from the top of the ladder.
Oh my goodness,
shaking. They're trying to go up the ladder.
The Samoan drop, Yokozuna would give Vader off of the back of the ladder. Would be like that would legit put a crater in the ring at that point.
I just imagine
that ladder would collapse.
I imagine like Yokozuna would take 1 step on the rung and it would just collapse inwards, the whole thing, like tinfoil.
That's unreal. That's unreal to me.
But no, this was a great match. I really enjoyed it. Like the last 2 are pretty solid, and like this one, I think I would say probably match of the night.
This is match of the night for me. This would get my vote for match of the night for sure.
Absolutely.
Because again, it's the match where crowd was hot throughout it. It was impossible not to be hot throughout this match because they did a lot in the ring and outside of the ring and down that aisleway too. They utilized the aisleway a lot, which is great. The finish,
and both wrestlers could have won. That's the fun thing. You come into this match and both wrestlers have equal shot to win.
The finish is a little bit of a overbooked mess, but it's Russo booking.
Russo.
that's what it's going to be. So, it ends with Mark Henry throwing powder into Triple H's eyes, but then China comes in and low blows as The Rock reaches for the IC title, and then Triple H outlasts The Rock to get up there and grab the belt, and we have a new Intercontinental Champion at the end of this. It's Triple H. And then on the home video version, we have video of The Rock being helped to the back, and this is how much they didn't give a. This is how much they did not give a. About the production quality or anything like that back then. Is the camera follows Rock right through Gorilla. You can.
I need Taker.
Yeah, you can hear.
I need Taker.
Screaming.
Let me get the Undertaker right now. We need Taker.
We need Taker.
It's on there. It's on
it's on the network. They kept it in. Oh, cool.
Kept it in.
Right on. Yeah, because we saw that. We thought that was like a home
and he
video
clearly
thing.
goes into Vince's room because on the top it had a
Vince's
sign that said Vince's office.
Yeah. And then The Rock cuts a promo in what looks to be Vince's office. Well, it is Vince's office at the Garden. So,
yes.
But just a tired promo,
yeah. Phenomenal match.
It is a great match. The only thing I didn't like in this match was so apparently on Heat, The Rock went after Triple H's leg with a belt.
Yes.
And although they mentioned it a few times, Triple H doesn't sell that enough. Like he should have been wearing a brace on the outside of his tights.
Yeah.
So they know that he has a leg to sell.
Or at least taped it up. If you don't have a brace,
if you don't have a
the
brace,
white tape will.
Make sure he feels
something there.
where it is. Yeah, make sure he knows where it is. Yeah,
and just sell the knee as you walk out or whatever,
Yeah,
and it's inconsistent when he's selling the knee. Like sometimes he has the energy to throw out a slam, and then they'll sandwich it between the ladder, and then The Rock will expose. I'm like, you gotta. It's one or the other.
Right.
How long after this? Because he had his injury right after this, didn't he?
The thing that puts him out for the rest of '98. Yeah, I think so. I think it's like a good 3 weeks to a month later or something. Yeah, it's not very long after.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also hate that he does a pedigree on the bad knee, like it's nothing. Like either sell the knee or don't do a pedigree on your bad knee.
Yeah, but it's the adrenaline. It's all shot up.
It's bullshit. I didn't like that. I also didn't like the double down spot where they're both on the ladder. Triple H falls off.
Yeah.
He hits a ladder that's crossed in the corner and then stumbles and falls into The Rock, who's on the ladder. I didn't quite like that spot. It's a little hacky. It's a little goofy.
Does this match make your top 5 of ladder matches?
Okay.
I know it's a match type that often in later years and that stuff has been overused.
It would be a 4 or 5 for me, but maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have it maybe on just the outside looking in, or maybe in that 5 spot.
I had the DVD set that's called Ladder Matches.
Yes.
And I remember this was on there, and it was a high featured one. I got to look through it again. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
definitely
a future discussion. Top 5 ladder.
It is. There's another future discussion. Yes, and we'll be doing that off and on throughout the year. Definitely.
For me, it's number 5.
Okay. Ranger is sold. It's number 5.
Oh, a really cool thing I noticed in this match that I don't remember seeing again.
Yes.
Is that the fans were rumbling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
There's an audible.
They were like clamoring their feet, and it would make that rumble sound throughout the entire arena. Like, that's so cool.
They love that. That's. I'm not sure if it's a New York specific thing, but yeah, I love it when a crowd does that.
I thought it was a New Japan thing, or any Japanese wrestling. Like when
they might do that over there.
When they start doing their false finishes after finisher. But I've never seen it in MSG. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it was, and that's when JR starts really hyping on this. A pandemonium. These 2 young studs. They're going for it.
It's shaking in here.
It's shaking in here.
Of course, The Rock played at University of Miami football.
That was mentioned in this match. Yes, it was. Also was another Mark McGuire incident and Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa. Why don't we talk about Sammy Sosa?
Jerry Lawler is getting upset because he's defending Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Why don't we talk about Sammy Sosa? Well, why don't we talk about Sammy Sosa?
Because there's a fucking wrestling match happening.
Sammy Sosa's still brown at this point, right? Yes.
Yeah. In 98, very much so.
Okay.
He's actually black. Now he's Michael Jackson white.
Yes.
Sammy Sosa?
Yeah.
Does he have like the same like skin?
Yeah, the interlogo or whatever.
No, he does not have vitiligo. He bleached his skin.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
through chemical
the
peels. Through chemical peels, and he bleaching his skin. He
Whoa.
Hang on, we'll
Why
do
have I never
before and
noticed
after.
this?
Hang on.
You put those up side by side, and you'll find that immediately those pictures of him.
I'm working on it.
Oh boy,
Yes, it's happening.
Son, he's not American. He's Dominican, isn't he?
he's Dominican.
Yeah,
He's
he's
got-
Dominican,
he-
yeah.
who speaks
But he-
very much Spanish.
Oh.
He's not very
he-
good at English.
It makes me think of what's that?
There we go.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Before and after.
No. I've never seen that.
So of course he played on the left, and then this is him in retirement on the right.
It's so random. I'm like, what? I mean, Sosa? Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Sammy Sosa, yep.
Jeez.
Uh,
Well, okay.
That is chemical peels and bleach recovery cream. That'll do it for you.
Oh,
So there's hope for me yet. No, just kidding.
I was going to say, I think you might want to just stay where you're
What's up with the chemical peel? I'm Italian now.
I'm not suggesting anything, but
Oh, that'd be wild.
yes.
Good times.
Yeah, that's a weird arc.
Shall we go to Taker in Austin?
It's the last match, so yes, we will go
On
to
the highway
Taker.
to hell.
The Highway to Hell main event. Yes, for the WWF Championship. Runtime is 20 minutes and 55 seconds. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker, and Stone Cold Steve Austin defeats The Undertaker in 2055. However, it is an all-terrain vehicle to get there. In fact, you may say it's gone off the cliff at one point, because this is the infamous match that Stone Cold Steve Austin gets knocked out, and The Undertaker has to carry Stone Cold for a good portion of this match.
That makes a lot of sense, because I was like, man, they're pretty on lithium for this match.
Yes. So the spot where he gets knocked out is Austin gets whipped into the ropes. Taker lowers his head, so Austin kicks him in the gut, and Taker catches the back of his head on the upswing on Austin's chin. You can even see it in the replay, just like that. And
I wrote that down.
Austin drops.
That knocked him out?
Clean knocked him out.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Everything falls apart after that.
According to Austin, it was like a classic cartoon knockout. He hit the deck, he saw lights and birds.
Wow.
Yeah, I shit my pants too.
I think he did.
Shit my pants.
And meanwhile, Taker's wondering, it's like, man, what's with everybody shitting their pants in my match? It's because Sid did the same thing the year earlier. Yes. Because
you know what else I forgot about in this match?
There's a before and after picture I've got of Austin before he gets knocked out and after, and it's like, oh.
You know what else I forgot about this match? Guitar riff Undertaker.
Yes. The theme music. Yeah, I made note of that. How do we feel about Taker's 98 theme music?
I love it. It's great.
I liked it back then.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like a trip. It's like, oh yeah, he had a guitar riff song.
Yeah.
I
think I think they were trying to mix elements of like Metallica and a whole bunch of like just make it more foreboding a little bit with it.
I think it was trying to make it more with the times, because 98 was was getting closer to the new metal scene, and
yes, well, new metal was huge at that point, so yeah, that makes perfect sense.
98, we were well into the if only we could fly.
Yeah.
We're biscuit style. Hey kid, take my advice. You don't want to step into a big pile of shit.
WWE's favorite band.
I think it was WrestleMania 19 that they performed live.
Yes. 2003.
I remember. I don't know if when I watched.
I'm a crack addict. What?
But they say that like I think it's what's his name? Tony Chimel.
Oh, Tony Chimmel. He's the ring announcer for this show because Finkel got his
head shaved,
right?
So Chimel was he did the intro to Limp Bizkit. I remember because I laughed so hard because he's like, Ladies and gentlemen, WWE's favorite band in the whole wide world. It was like, say it like a kid. They're my
It's Limp
favorite band in
Bizkit.
the whole wide world. And then they're just, like, well, come and date like a
Limp
chainsaw.
Bizkit.
What?
kind of a modern day slant to that is there was rumors that they couldn't make the deal work to get Limp Bizkit into the WWE Hall of Fame this year.
Oh my God.
So I don't know what the holdup was, but apparently there was an offer. So
Here's my thing with
Fred Durst wants more money.
probably.
If they had a different lead singer, like, and Fred Durst wasn't like. Here's the thing: like, if you've actually listened to their cover of "Behind Blue Eyes" of the Who, like, it's
Great
actually
song.
it's a great cover.
Yes.
Wes Borland is actually a really good guitar player.
He's
But
he's
just-
great.
They
He's awesome.
they couldn't get out of their own way.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
They just couldn't get out of their own way. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like they have some great tracks. Like,
Yeah.
It'll Be Okay is a awesome track. It's a great song. Honestly, it would have been perfect to use in a wrestling pay-per-view, but at that time it was all about keep on rolling, baby.
Great stuff tonight.
Introducing the chocolate starfish.
Yeah, it was.
But of course, bringing it full circle, we saw Method Man earlier on in the show, and of course, Limp Bizkit recorded the song "In Together Now" with Method Man,
Yes.
1998.
Yes.
That's not full circle. That's just shit.
I like that song though.
It's just a big poop emoji with no smile.
What do we think about Austin's entrance? They brought back the glass sheet from like WrestleMania 13, and then have a different design on it, and then the glass breaks and Austin walks out.
Cool.
Yes.
Next.
We talked about Austin getting knocked out. I think this match, you can tell that in the first few minutes that they're building up to potentially, have it be like the Undertaker Austin match. Like, this was going to be the Undertaker Austin encounter. Bless me, sorry about that. Of the year, if not the feud, right? And then the incident happens where Austin gets knocked out, and all of that goes by the wayside at that point. So you can tell at that point, Taker's like, "Oh crap, there goes my match of the year candidate right there." So the runtime, I think this was even an audible call. They probably had longer. Like this, the ladder match was 25 minutes. I would think that this one was probably going to go 25 minutes as well, but they had to shave probably 5 minutes because Austin's hurt.
Yeah, this is again like keeping up with the theme of this entire pay-per-view. You see, like, Stone Cold Undertaker, main event added
First
to the
one-on-one match on pay-per-view.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you're like, oh, that's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
And then honestly, not the fault of the wrestlers or even the
That's a freak accident. Freak
accident that this pay-per-view is kind of like cursed to be mid. The whole thing was just cursed to be because again, on paper you look at it and you're like, God, there's some potential classics on here.
Mm-hmm.
As that ladder match, everything kind of goes meh. And it's like it's Austin Taker, but because of an injury, it's like, well, they can't put the best story they can out there because one guy out of it.
And they do get to the storyline beat that they need to, though, in this match where Kane walks out and Taker calls him off, and then Kane kind of shuffles his feet and goes back.
Yeah.
Hey, Glenn, we need you for this pay-per-view, but all you're going to be doing is jumping out of a garbage can and then just making a casual entrance and then walking away.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought it added to the mystique of Kane a little bit, but the problem is that Kane was, wrestling. He wasn't the unstoppable monster anymore. He had lost a couple of matches up to this point with the Outlaws had beaten Mankind and Kane a couple of times on Raw. And
he's already lost the world title.
Lost the world title and stuff like that. So this was this would have been perfect for the mystique around like early '98 Kane. mid
Remember
98
the,
Kane, it's like
remember the Chef Boyardee commercials for WWF back then?
yes, with
And,
Mankind. Yeah.
Yeah, but also Kane couldn't eat this ravioli through his mask, and he went.
Yes.
So that's what I imagine in my head when I saw this happen. It's like, go back there. This is between me and Steve. Go back.
What B word?
Yeah. Ravioli, and then he just goes in the back, never to be seen again.
Oh man, yeah, I can see that.
This was
I can
kind of
totally see
like his like Batman and Robin Bane moment.
Oh yeah,
Because Bane is such a great villain, but that movie just destroys. Like even the origin of Bane in that movie, you're like, okay, he's this crazy prisoner guy. They pump him up full of venom. Oh yeah, here we go.
yes.
And then later on, he's just putting icicle bombs because Mr. Freeze has to have icicle bombs, and he's just bomb puts it down. And you're like, this. What have they done to Bane? They ruined him.
Yeah.
It's like this is that kind of moment where you're just like, here comes Kane. Oh, he's gonna wreck shit, and then just no, my brother doesn't need me. I go home now. It's like very much Undertaker. It was like older brother, like I've done to my little brother. We're like, I'm playing football with my friends. He's like, I play. I'm like, go home. Like, go home, Neil. And he's like, oh.
You're either goalie or you're heading back to the house. Yes, exactly.
Yes, that's like, ravioli.
So, the finish actually to this thing, I liked. I liked the finish.
What?
Yes.
You like that?
Yeah.
He low blowed him right in front of the referee.
Low blow in front of the ref off of the old school attempt, and the stunner, and that's Austin, the 1-2-3.
That's bullshit.
Don't forget, Austin is cheered like a baby face, and they're pushing him like a baby
has a job
face.
to do, and
But he's a tweener in this era. He's not a full blown baby face. He's a tweener, so he's still.
Did you hear that reaction? He's a full baby face. Did you hear the promo earlier? He's a full baby face.
Yeah,
he's just doing Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan always did that stuff, and it was fine.
Cunt Hogan at that point.
Yeah, but Hulk Hogan was always a face who did heelish stuff.
Yeah, so this is just that's.
But a low blow into a stunner in front of the referee, that's bullshit.
The ref had a fight.
I don't know how you're defending this. How? What is there to defend there?
He had a prick in his eye. I don't know.
It was a bullshit way to get out of the fact that he was concussed.
Maybe. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, because both guys were faces. They left as faces. Yeah. The only heelish thing was that. So.
Yeah.
Was the low blow into a stunner.
That was the only healed moment in the whole match.
It's pro wrestling.
It needs to make sense.
One of the
not really, but...
was an undead wizard.
He's not an undead wizard.
Whose brother is basically a knockoff Michael Myers, yes.
Who just did and walked away. And so we're already in Sillyville. And then the other guys that found out beer drinking redneck is going to fight this Undertaker from Houston, Texas. And then kicks him in the dick. Stunner.
You are never going to win
Austin,
this point
Texas.
on me.
Not Houston, Austin.
You are never going to win this point on me, okay? Wrestling has to make sense. Otherwise, it's completely bullshit. And you're just watching it to make fun of it. You're ironically watching it.
So?
That's fucking lame.
It's entertaining. What do you mean?
Every fight needs a good guy and a good guy.
How much gooder is each guy?
That might be quote of the night. I
love it. Every fight needs a good guy. So post-match, Taker raises up almost immediately and clutches the title belt, hands the title to Austin, and both Kane and Taker stare down Austin. Austin walks out the champ still, and there's home video exclusives after, but if you want, I can get into those quickly.
No.
It wasn't anything important to the overall.
No, Taker just interviewed, or Michael Hayes gets interviewed by, or interviews Taker and Kane, I should say. Says he has one comment for Stone Cold. You won the battle, but you didn't win the war. Enjoy this. Michael Cole has Austin backstage, and Austin says it could be Taker's night or his. It was that close. And then the Highway to Hell.
Lots of respect. And lots of respect.
More respect. Blah, blah, blah.
Respect.
And then we have, it goes.
Yeah, nothing but respect
fade
when I
out off
kicked you
that,
in the
so.
balls, hit my finisher in front of the referee, and pinned you.
And
We
that's
forgot
it.
about
That's,
that.
Yeah. And
Oh
that's
yeah,
it.
Stone Cold had a smoking skull belt in this one. Woo!
Yes. Yeah. Those are big money, apparently.
I don't give a rat's ass how much money it costs.
Like the collector's version of those fetch like 4 figures on eBay.
That's not the belt I would buy if I had money.
No, me neither. I mean, I had the belt I wanted for the longest time, and then I sold it. So
Here's the thing: we're on an hour 45. We finally finished this son bitch. Let's close it out in these last 15 or less.
okay, we'll wrap it up. Yes, exactly. As we do with every show, we rank it out of 10 for watchability, production, rewatchability factor, blah 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 blah. Since Morehouse is joining us tonight, I will give him the ball to rank this out of 10. What are you giving the show out of 10?
I give it a glorious 4 out of 10. And the only reason why it's getting a 4 out of 10 is because that ladder match carried the show.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Fair enough. Mr. TL, you are next.
2 out of 10. Ladder match carries the show.
Wow. Everybody concurs. Okay. Craig P. Frazier, what do you give it?
I'm gonna go for a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Really?
A lot of potential. Did not get there.
This gets a pass?
It's a pass.
It's a 50. It's a
50.
C.
I enjoyed watching it. I sat there and I watched it. Said a lot of this suck. Yes, a lot of it sucked. But I also was like, great matches. Stone Cold Taker.
2.
According
And
to
the Austin
Greg,
Taker match wasn't great.
this pay-per-view does not
Yeah,
have to
Austin
retake
Taker-
23.
Austin Taker was mid, so I'm going to give it the most mid score I could give it, and it's going to be a 4.999999 out of 10. Not quite enough for a 5, but just on the failure side of.
Why
So
don't
it's
you
like
grow some
49.9.
balls? Why don't you have some balls and give it a 4?
Because the ladder match,
Actually,
I think,
his rounding is a 5. He thinks it's a passable show too.
It's 4.99999. So it's on
Which
the
is
fail.
less
failure.
than the
That's-
pass.
that's a
You
round.
failed it. Just give it a 4 like it should be.
Well, it's a 4.9.
Give it
It's
a
like-
fail.
You've done the homework well enough, but you just didn't put your name on it. So you got
That's right.
4.9.
It's 9999. Yeah. So that's that.
Fail it. Just fail it. I want you to fail it.
Okay.
I want you to be honest with yourself. I want you
Would
to
you-
fail this pay-per-view
4.7. There.
lower.
Would you rewatch this if you had
Lower.
something to do? Yeah.
I want it down to a 4. Damn it.
Fine 4. It's a
There we go.
Yeah.
How does it feel? You got both your testicles down there now, huh?
Again, ladder match carries the show. Match of the night. Taker Austin had potential of being good, but then we all know what happened with that. Everything else feels like a Raw.
A really bad Raw.
Less
really
than a Raw.
bad
Less,
Yeah,
it's a Saturday Night Shotgun.
yeah. I don't think it's a shotgun. I think it's on par with what they were doing on Raw from week to week there.
It's
So-
velocity. It's superstars. It's mixed tag. It's bullshit, is what it was. People paid money for this shit, and then you had to buy the cassette and re-watch this shit. This is a waste. 2 out of 10, goddammit.
What you gave. Yes. So there we go. Those are our scores out of 10. Your results may vary on there. So
And
yeah.
again, it is no slight of Mr. Craig. He
No.
was given wolf tickets. It does look good on paper.
Mm.
It looked really good on paper.
Yes.
Hell,
Yeah.
that cartoon of like Stone Cold holding up piece of the Statue of Liberty,
Yes.
and the Undertaker holding up piece of the
The
Empire
poster.
State Building.
I got the poster
Yeah.
here. Hang on.
Yeah.
Where is it? It is right here. Yeah. Boom. That's it.
See, like
Cool.
that looks badass for
That's
its
from the
time.
magazine. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
ripping up New York City.
Yeah. It looks great. And don't
Highway
forget
to
about
Hell,
Retail.
the theme song, everything in this should have worked. And then when it came time to do it, nothing worked except
Nothing
for that
happened.
ladder match.
Yeah. Yeah. But out of that ladder match, you got 2 guys that are in your main event scene for like a decade after this.
No, it's
one
still
who
going.
continues
Still
to
going.
One who continues to influence to this day, and that's actually
Well,
both.
Actually, they both
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
They both
Yeah.
do.
yeah.
One writes it and one goes in and tries to rewrite himself into it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And one
Yep.
one bank rolls it, and the other one writes it. Yeah, exactly. So
I like my way better.
Yep. One's creative, and one's not the boss of creative, but he's associate boss of the boss of creative.
and meanwhile, the guys who are in the main event are doing podcasts. Okay, great. There we go. So that's
And
that.
Chris Van Fleet.
I was kind of waiting on Craig to tell me where the Undertaker played basketball in college, but he didn't hit it.
Strategy tips.
Well, actually, Stone Cold played college football at University of North Texas for the Mean Machine or the Mean Green.
The mean green machine.
Mean Green. He was playing for the Guards in the longest yard.
He was.
The
Mean
Green
machine. Mean machine.
The Bean Machine. The Great
Mr.
Bean
Bean.
Machine. Mr. Bean, yes. Well, I think the only thing left to do is pop this thing up again for a cheap pop. There we go.
No.
And
Warriors.
and
You know what? I was trying to find the gif of that the other day where he just goes, no! I can't find it. Somebody has
Yeah.
to make that.
Somebody has to make that again, yes. I think what had happened is when everything switched to Netflix, a lot of the GIFs ended up getting wiped. So now they're slowly starting to come back on. So
Okay, well, I need you to make that one for me.
I know.
Go digitalize Rumble 91 right now.
It is digitalized right now, but
Wait, there is one thing that we forgot to do. Mr. Ventura, what did you think of this event?
oh, yes, the governor.
Well, the thing about this pay-per-view is that at this time I was in Grenada and I was going door to door spraying liquid napalm around the villages because that's what I was told to do by the U.S. government.
No.
Yes, well, you don't know.
No,
I was there.
You were running for the Reform Party ticket in Minnesota. This was your governor here. You get elected
Well,
governor
you
in
tell
November.
me- You tell me where I was when I was there.
Oh, you better have been in St. Paul or Minneapolis.
If you're
Well,
such
my
a
body
patriot-
double was there.
Your body double.
You're such a patriot. Where were you?
So
Were you on 9/11?
yeah, exactly.
You explained Tower 7 to me. I was there when I was running for governor of Minnesota.
Tower 7.
I heard it in my sleep. I woke up. I said, somebody hit the building. There's explosive charges that somebody put throughout my bedroom. When I'm now in the Baja.
I wouldn't be
yes.
complete without that.
Yeah. Well, but
Oh,
again,
I'm dying.
he was totally in Minnesota at the time. But anyway, whatever. That's
You
good.
tell me
He
where
knows
I
where
was.
he was.
Yeah, okay.
He knows where
So-
he is.
Do you know where he is? I guess that's a question, right?
I'm starting to like my Stu Hart impression a little bit more.
Come here. You're not getting away from me.
He sounds like a 1930s robber.
The Christmas joke this year will be Stu Hart hosting a late night radio call-in show, and Jesse Ventura is his guest. So.
Oh, Lord.
Here, go to the next car here, Dagger.
Jesse Ventura. And I come through. What have you been doing this entire time? I've been sitting here in the Baja waiting for you to come back to me.
Well, I'm not going over there. Too hard of a drive for me. I'm not going.
You have to
Come up next on our
make
radio.
sure you take your time.
Nah, I'm not going.
Nah, not going. No, just not going.
Coming up next, Sweet City Woman by the Stampeders.
Stay tuned for the praise that pays.
Coming up later, some more April wine.
Who's got next pick?
Yeah, okay. Well, depends. I have next pick.
Okay.
If Morehouse would like to join, I can give Morehouse a pick because Morehouse hasn't had a pick in this new format yet.
I do have a pick. Give me 1 second.
Oh, he's got a pick?
Yes. So there we go. We're changing the order around. It is Morehouse's very first pick on the new Classic Nitrostake next show.
And mine isn't out for another 2 turns, but I've already got it locked in.
I got mine locked in for coming up here too.
Should we say it just so we could put it out there?
No,
as future episodes?
no. We got to keep the element of surprise, boys.
Picky.
What?
Yeah.
Element of surprise.
Shouldn't it be better that we ramp up to it instead of surprise?
He's picking something.
Well, it depends. Look at him digging.
Stu, drink
digging
your
up.
tea and go to bed.
He's got it. Okay, and he's got.
On my pick, we're going to TNA land.
Oh Lord!
Whoa, we haven't been there yet.
TNA's
Unbreakable
TNA
2005.
Unbreakable
Okay.
05.
Okay,
And this
I can do that. I have that.
And this
I can
has
do
the
that.
famous 3-way match between AJ Christopher and Samoa Joe.
Okay, I have that. I'll get that out to you guys. No problem.
Okay.
I can do that. Yep. Unbreakable 2005. I have that. We haven't done TNA. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is kind of like rediscovering the ECW arc again.
Yeah, but that didn't go as well as we planned.
No, and I'm kind of a little bit wary going into TNA land here. I'm like,
And this is the 20th,
you
should 20th anniversary of TNA's greatest match. So,
okay.
No,
Gotcha.
okay.
Fair
yeah.
enough.
You're going to be worried when you get to my pick.
So,
yeah.
I usually have the Wildcat picks, you know. myself,
No. This is going to be so bad.
Oh no.
Like this might get us in trouble.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
are you thinking like Women of Wrestling 2000?
No, not at all.
But if you why don't you just tell us the pick then?
You want me to tell you the pick? You want to know?
Yeah,
Tell us.
whisper
fair
in my
enough.
ear.
Okay. Well, if we're going to reveal the picks, so we're going to do Unbreakable 2005 TNA from Morehouse right there.
Okay.
My pick, we're going to go to the dance. We're going to do Barely Legal 1997, going back into ECW. It was ECW's first pay-per-view. So we'll do that. And now, TL, what's your Endgame Avengers Doomsday scenario here?
First of all, are you trying to like redeem your ECW-ness?
A little
with this
bit.
one? Yeah. Okay.
Was he watching too much ECW on Sci-Fi again?
No, it's just we tried going down to ECW arc here a few months ago, and it wasn't good.
It was worse than we remembered. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. Okay, fine. I'm gonna say it. Here we go. When it is my turn in 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched it. I never thought I would watch it. I need to see what happens, and we need to discuss we need to discuss the details of this one.
Mm-hmm.
Over the Edge 99.
Ooh. Okay.
I
Yes.
don't know if we can find that though.
No, we can because that's on Netflix.
You're serious?
It is on Netflix.
Why?
There is a disclaimer that runs at the beginning of it. It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're watching it because I need to. Again, I've never watched it, but I need to
I
know
haven't seen it either. Okay.
how they pulled through that whole pay-per-view
Right.
after what
I feel
happened.
uneasy. I already feel uneasy. It's
Yeah.
weird.
That's
Yeah.
double black diamond. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
What happened at Over the Edge?
Stu,
Huh?
your
What happened,
son
Greg?
fell from a building and died.
Did he get up and shake it off, or
It was nothing worse
You
than a bear,
bastard! You made me laugh at Orhart's death.
nothing worse than bear scratch.
Oh god, I'm going to hell.
So I'm gonna write this down on a banner here for the folks just to get so we know this here. So so we'll start with Morehouse, and his is TNA Unbreakable 2005. Mine is, so that's the first one. We're gonna go to done. ECW barely legal.
So decrepit.
97.
Oh god.
I have put him in effort.
and then TL gets us
Barley
I
legal.
just hit the
Over.
funny bone in the right place at the
It's
wrong time. And
99.
I can't stop laughing.
You broke him. You broke him.
Yeah.
You really did.
There we go. Craig, while we're here, you might as well give us your pick for the next round. And we'll...
WrestleMania 20.
Ooh. We're going bad to bad.
We are going down the darkest
I'm-
timeline. And
You
I'm
don't have
here
to
for
do
it.
that. You don't have to.
It's not the pick. We can do it.
That's not his pick. He's joking.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was going to say, we can
Uncomfortable.
go down the darkest timeline if you want.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we put Legends of Wrestling on it while we're at it.
I don't have that one. I don't know where to get that one. I'm just trying to figure
How about
it out.
Hardcore Homecoming? No.
That was bad.
I have
too.
all the hardcore homecoming shows, so if we need that.
But the good thing is, because WrestleMania is just next weekend, I believe.
Yes. And we'll
So-
be
But between WrestleMania and SummerSlam is always
Yeah.
the down portion of WWE. So
Well-
we could hit all of these and make some
we have
good
we have
pods.
3 or 4 shows here, so we have 3 out of the 4 announced anyway. So of course we'll come back with Morehouse's pick for TNA Unbreakable 2005. Then we'll hit mine, which is ECW Barely Legal 97, and then we'll go to TL's Darkest Timeline to go WWF Over the Edge 99. By that point, we'll see if Craig Fraser wants to chime in on one, or if he runs for the podcast screaming and yelling that we've corrupted him too much.
You've chased me away.
So, but anyway,
Man, I'm in for some serious trauma on this.
I'm gonna tell
Over the edge,
this.
man.
I'm gonna tell this ticker to rest in peace. And there we go. So
Yeah, I'm in for some serious child trauma. I never
Yes.
watched that pay-per-view.
no,
I've
okay.
never seen it. I've
I've
never
never
seen it.
seen it. I refuse
And I-
to see it.
So
Yeah.
this is the road. This is the road to Over the Edge 99, and we're building up to it with TNA Unbreakable 2005 and ECW Barely Legal 97. Okay, hey, I'm here for it. Whatever.
I'm telling you, man. We've announced it. It's happening, and this is some
I
good
love
shit
it.
to watch. Yeah.
This is the most planning on this channel maybe ever. So
Wow.
So I'm for it.
We're in it for a fun summer, boys.
Yes, it is a fun spring of the summer, and yes,
The Summer of
next-
George is on.
Summer of George.
Summer's George.
Summer of George.
So next weekend, I got to figure this out still, but I'm thinking we might go live Saturday night after WrestleMania, the first night, just to do a recap. Whoever can join, whatever.
Ooh, no, because it's Easter.
Mhm.
I'm with my family on Sunday.
I'm in Saturday. It's a 2-night show. Saturday.
Yeah,
and
I know,
Sunday.
but I mean, like, I'm going to miss one of them.
Yeah,
I can do,
well, I'm going to
I
miss
can do the
something.
Saturday one, but I have a party on the Sunday one.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying we'll go live on Saturday, and then if we want to meet up maybe Monday during the day or evening to do part 2, we can if we care.
I think for just having it-
I think just to keep it rolling, I think the Saturday night would probably suffice. So we'll go live Saturday night after night 1, and you give us our thoughts so far, and maybe predictions for the next night, and that'll be it. So
Well,
what about
Sunday,
you, Miss? Hmm?
Sunday I'm going bungee jumping. So
Extreme Sports Stu Hart. I had
MXC Stu.
MSG Stu Hart.
going into a triple step into a flying lima bean. Into a screaming tiger flip.
MSG Stu Hart.
I'm having chest coughs. Please end this.
Well, we got to do the social media plugs here. So, Craig, yours is at the bottom of your thing. So it's you're over on the Blue Sky at CP Fraser.
Blue Sky exclusively. If you
Yes,
want to find me
exactly.
there, CP Fraser. Bluesky.social.
Yep. There we go. And Morehouse is now Dat House over on Kayfabe Wrestling. So that's over on Twitter. Kayfabe
Twitter,
wrestling, right?
YouTube, it's everywhere. We're launching social media. We're learning this new thing called the internets, and
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I love
we're
it.
doing
Yeah.
some internets marketing, and we're gonna get some internets people to see our internet sites.
Sweet. I love it. Okay. TL, where can they find you?
I am not everywhere. I am exclusively at TMLUTAN on Twitter X.
Mm-hmm. And I am at Kellen Nitro.
What? Barney!
I love. There we go. That was fueled by Mountain Dew. Everybody, there we go. So.
I guess the Nitro burned you up on that one,
I
didn't it?
love it. Yeah.
Kill the Nitro.
Yeah. That's like if you get a bubble in your throat and your voice automatically.
Oh, we know what happened, good sir. We know what happened.
You're not wasting that. You're using it.
It's medicine. We learn medicine in life here.
I love it. Yeah. So at Kellen Nitro everywhere. I'm on Blue Sky, Instagram, you name it. The channel itself is tinyurl.com/Nitromaniac TV. The only thing tiny is URL, as the content is huge. So there we go. Yeah, and that's it. So next time we join you, it'll be Morehouse's pick, which will be TNA Unbreakable 2005 here on the channel.
Wait a second. Does that mean we've inducted Morehouse into the review gang?
I think so. I think he's passed with flying colors here going forward.
Sweet. Wait, so if I'm the little man, you're the bigger man. He's the bigger man.
Yeah. So
I'll be the
Morehouse,
$1 million man. The $1 million man.
the $1 million. Yeah. There we go. I was gonna say he's either Ted DiBiase or he's 6 running around with the camera. One of the two.
I think the $1 million man every day.
So the way the NWO worked out, I was like, oh yeah.
Nobody wants to be X-Pac.
No.
No.
I don't even think X-Pac wants to be X-Pac.
No.
Nah, of course not. So.
Nah.
But anyways, later days, folks. Happy wrestling watching. We'll catch you next time here on the channel. And we'll see you next week for after night 1 WrestleMania post-show shenanigans and fun. So see you then. Bye.
You got the little man, you got the big man, and you got the bigger man.